Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing on this beautiful, at least where I am in New York City, beautiful Saturday morning? Good morning, CT. How you doing?
Good,
Everything good? How's mom?
good, good. Just got home about an hour ago.
I like your background. Look at
Yeah,
that. Let's go Yankees.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, first off, I want to welcome everybody to a beautiful Saturday morning. As we know, the Yankees will be playing at 1 o'clock today. Let's hope. Let's really hope that we get back on track. Jacob Petruzzi, good morning. Real Bill, good morning. Just to name a few. Jonathan, good morning. So what's going on? I don't want to read. I don't want to read into again too much from last night, but let me tell you something. It's going all over the place. That it's a real possibility something's going to happen with Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, I agree.
I something that this is getting a little bit tight now. Just CT. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, last night was just that was bad. That was just bad. I can't believe I thought we were going to come into, or have Baltimore come into to play us, and we were going to, kick some butt, and not happening last night. I mean, last night, Judge though was awake, which is I kind of thought that would happen. Jazz looked good. DJ LeMahieu had 2 hits, but other than that, what we have total of 3 runs. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this team. I thought we had woken up after that win, but I guess I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'm just flabbergasted on how things just developed. I really thought the Yankees were going to be on the right track,
Me too.
and it started all over again. And this is a big problem.
Yep. And then Weaver last night, I think we kind of rushed him back. 2/3 of the inning, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk and 1K. It's not like Weaver, so I don't know.
Yeah. So, but all right. Well, if you, I mean, we'll give a little time to last night's game. Would you like to discuss? Hey, Jake. Good morning. You like to discuss it a little bit? Go ahead.
Well, I think I'm not sure that I like Goldschmidt at as our leadoff batter. Some games it does work, but it seems like more games than not it doesn't work. Um, and Stanton did get a hit last night. I said Jazz Chisholm had 2 hits, but he also had 2 strikeouts. It was nice to see Judge with only 1 strikeout and 3 hits last night. And but I mean, really, other than that, what was happening last night? Jason Dominguez had a hit, but and an RBI. But other than that, I mean, our offense was just very. I mean, we had 10 hits. Don't get me wrong, but we just couldn't get runs on the board, and this
Mhm.
has been a problem for this team all year long. We get runners on, and we just can't get them around the bases. I mean, last night when we left on base 10 runners left on base last night for the Yankees. 10 runners. Think about that. That's pretty crazy.
Yes, it is. And Anthony Volpe, how many? He left what about 8 to 10 guys on base? I
Yeah,
mean,
just himself. Yeah.
just I mean, listen, he's getting. I mean, for a guy that has 44 RBIs, I mean, which is incredible. I still don't know how that was done. Because every time we see him, he's striking out or popping up or something. But some of it is justified. Some is a little overreaction.
Yeah.
Um, Jake is saying, "Did you guys see Clint Frazier's comments on the
Yeah.
Yankees organization?" I did not. What was said?
Fake. He's talking about fake injuries. How Boone, is not a coach. The front office makes all the decisions, and Boone is just kind of like, kind of what we've already knew, but we
Right.
didn't want to, admit.
Yeah, but you know what? That's sour grapes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sour grapes. I mean, he's not even in baseball right
Not
now. I mean,
anymore.
for a guy that had all the potential and legendary bat speed, he sure went downhill right away. So I'm not going to take anything he says with a grain of salt at all,
Well,
CT.
well, it's kind of like it's kind of like remember Torres was talking trash about the Yankees after he'd left and gone to the Tigers. So it's the same type of thing happening.
Oh yeah. Clint Frazier, someone in the Yankees analytic department, told him that they don't believe in players getting hot, and they are who they are. Okay. All right. Well, listen, it is what it is. The bottom line is he's not part of the Yankees right now. He doesn't know what is, he may have thought he knew what was going on. I mean, he had a potential to be a very good ball player.
Oh,
He fooled everyone. He
yeah,
fooled everyone. You can't, he looked like a good player. He just had that stance, that look, and he just never came through. It was
no.
unbelievable. It really was. But, to waste time talking about him makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, Hey, guys, also, I wanted to go over some of the events, some of the scores from last night. As we went off, there was still quite a few games. Um, Hold on a second. Let's get to it. And here we go. All right. So finals yesterday was the Mariners 9, the Cubs 4, the Rangers 6, the Pirates 2, Tampa Bay all over Detroit. Oh, you score 8 runs and you lose 14-8. The Orioles, of course, beat the Yankees 5-3. The White Sox surprisingly beat Toronto 7-1. The Marlins all over the Braves 6-2. The Phillies just all over the Mets 10-2. Cincinnati, the Cardinals 6 and the Reds 1. Milwaukee 17 and the Twins 6. Arizona 14, the Rockies 8. The Houston Astros 3, the LA Angels 2. The Royals 6, the Padres in a little bit of a funk. 6-5 they lost. The Athletics again beat the Guardians 5-1. The Dodgers beat the Nationals 6-5. And when we were on the stream, the Giants were leading the Red Sox 3-0. The Red Sox came back and won the game 7-5. So that's that's your scoreboard today. Today's an early game. There's an earlier game than us. The Tigers and the Rays are gonna play at 12:10. Just to let everybody know. Hey, everyday Mets, how you doing? What is going on with your team?
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Like what happened last night, 10-2. You lost to the Phillies 10-2.
Right. CT, I also wanted to again announce the our new segment that we're going to be doing on Fridays, and basically we're going to go around the league. We're going to talk about the division leaders, the wild carders, the surprises, the disappointments. Every Friday it's going to get more in depth and more in depth. So we're really looking forward to that. I think that's a wonderful idea to change, the narrative, and these are teams that the Yankees are going to be playing. So why not dissect a little bit, and just get an idea what the Yankees are in for. And, not that, of course, it's not going to make a difference until you go on the field anyway. But another thing that everybody could look forward to between now and like September 1st, we are going to have a roundtable discussion with the trade deadline. We will have co-hosts to be determined, also availability of people. And I will open up some of the panel to the chat. You guys are going to be able to come on for a few minutes, ask your questions, say your piece. As long as everything is cool, you keep it clean, you keep it nice. We have no problem with that. Absolutely, we'll be monitoring everything. But that's another thing I want to get you guys involved with. We are going to have a lot of special shows coming up where where some of the people are going to, be with me. Either I'm doing the interview alone or I'm doing it with a co-host. That'll be determined from the time the everything happens as far as the guests coming on. Now this Monday, CT Cards will be with me as CT, who is graciously coming on our show.
We have Corey Hart, former baseball player, played for the Brewers, played for the Seattle Mariners and the Pirates. He's a two-time All-Star in 2008 and 2010. He's also on the Milwaukee Brewers Wall of Honor. So this will be a very cool, and thank you, Joe, very much for asking me to do this, and thank you, Nathan, for making this happen.
I was just gonna say we got to thank Nitin. He's the main guy, and we really appreciate it. So there's going to be a lot of different things going on. You're going to see some. You're going to see also. Listen, I like to spend it out there. CT Cards is going to be part of our show at 8:30 in the morning. And when available, Jonathan will be on our show 8:30 to 9. Ken from The Ugly Truth will be on from 9 o'clock all the way to the end of the show. This is all starting on Monday. And our pregame shows are going to be with Ken and myself, and possibly invited people with that. Or if it's a short show, it just may be the two of us. The post-game show is going to be basically myself and possibly invited guests. That's going to be the post-game show. And as I mentioned to you about the guest, that is going to be determined by actually the people that Nitin actually, with anybody but myself, if he approves it, then they're going to be coming on. So we have a lot of things in store. There are a few changes. Also, we also have to address 161 River Avenue and NFE. They will come on whenever they can. They are a big part of this show. Unfortunately, they don't have the time right now. They have their own channels. They have, a lot of things going on. But originally, it was NFE. This is how and Jason, this is how I met all these wonderful people like CT and Jonathan and Sean Browning and Nitin. This is how it is. So I can't forget where I came from, and I won't forget where I came from. But one thing about NY Yankee Mania is everybody gets a chance. We're all family. And I will always be there for you. You will never be left out, ever. I want to make that totally clear, because one thing that I've learned in life, you always do the right thing. You always do the right thing.
Well said.
And I just appreciate each and every. Now the chat is I can't talk nothing but wonderful things about you guys, and you know who you are. Just to name a few, FG, Everyday Mets, Real Bill, Celia. Help me out here. There's quite a few. There's Lou. Jake. I just say thank you to all of you, and hopefully as we go to this journey, this wonderful journey with Yankee Mania. You will all be there to reap the benefits. And I promise you, Merck, of course, Merck, I wouldn't forget him. The journey is incredible. And I want everybody that started with me to take that journey with me, because it's going to be one hell of a ride. It really is going to be one hell of a ride. So I wanted to get that out of the way. I feel great. I'm looking forward to starting Monday a new leaf, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's all going to start Monday at 8:30 in the morning, and then we're going to go forward. But looking at today's game, guys, what do we like? What are we afraid of? My worry, and I'm going to bring this out to you to dissect it. With the right-handed pitcher, the Orioles are going to be very tough.
Yes.
And that worries me. Take it away.
Well, Eflin's had kind of an up and down year. I mean, he has almost a 5 ERA at 4.81, but the guy can still pitch. I'm not, but he's he's let a lot of home runs go. So that's the one positive we have for tonight. If we can get the bats going and take advantage of that, he's given up 12 home runs over 58 innings. So that's a pretty good pitcher for us to face. But we've also had we've made all these pitchers that have nearly a 5 ERA look like Cy Young candidates this past week or so. But Clark Schmidt, he's looked good. His last start was one of his best starts. Our offense just didn't back him up. So today I'm hoping that we can see our bats do something, but we better get to the O's early. I hope that's what happens today. But somebody to watch out for with Baltimore's got to watch out for Cedric Mullins. Guy, once he gets going, he gets going. I know he's only batting 225 this year, but he's a good batter. And also watch out for Ryan O'Hearn. And I'd say though, this is not a cakewalk. We proved that last night. Well, playing the Orioles, we made it look more difficult than it actually is. And I said we just need to get runners around the bases and play situational baseball. And it's not happening at times. So we can't rely on the long ball. But tonight we could take advantage of this pitcher and take advantage of Eflin and actually get some home runs here and actually win the game. So let's hope that happens. What do you think, Joe?
I agree with you, and well put. I really believe. I love your background. I love that. I love that sign. I got to tell you.
I set it all up last night.
when you showed me your layout, it was very impressive, CT. And one of these days, I would really like for you to show everyone because it's a great thing. I'm very impressed, and I am honored to do some of the show with you and interviews and everything. And then we're going to go forward. We're going to go forward with it. Each and every one of you you have your own niche, and it's great. And Jake is going to make me cry here. We love you, Joe. I'm afraid of Schmidt having a bad start today, to be honest. Well, Jake, number one, same here. Kudos to you. We love you too. And this chat, this chat is such a home chat that it just makes me smile, and I look forward to it. So if I'm having a bad day, or if I'm in not feeling all that great or whatever, I just go back and I see people like Jake and CT and Ken and Jason 161 and Real Bill, and the list goes on and on and on. And I can't stress it enough. You guys are there, and I'm so happy that you're all going to take the journey. So with that in mind, I got to do the Lavazza coffee to everybody. Salute to everybody. You guys are the best. I'm Felix too. I'm not letting you go. You're definitely part of the family. Edgelock, you're part of the family. So salute to everybody. And here comes Lavazza. Let's go Yankees and health.
Yeah, that Wells double play with runners on first and second was the game for me, Felix says. And yeah, that seemed like them.
Yeah. Sean Browning, same with you. I got a good feeling about today. We turn it around and route the O's. I definitely I want to believe it. Jake Boone makes a lineup based on analytics report. Who hits the opposing starting pitcher versus the player on a hot streak? If they don't match, he goes right to analytic report. Now, do you think that's fair, CT, or not?
No, I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I've always maintained the same comment on this, is that when you watched coaches or managers from the past, like Joe Torre had a really good feel for the game, what was happening right in front of him. And when you watch Boone, there's a lot of times where instead of going off the feel of the game, he's going off of numbers or maybe what he's being told. I'm not sure. I'm not going to get too much on Boone's case, but baseball's changed. I do miss the days of more of the feel of the game. Who's got the hot hand today. Let's stick to that player who's got the hot hand. And we tend to, all of a sudden, the guy who's our hot hand, we take him out and put somebody else in the like the seventh inning who has better defense or is better. And it doesn't make any sense. If a guy's got a hot hand today, leave him in. And it's got, gets back to almost like what you were talking about with the constant lineup changes. There's no feel to it. Who's been hot lately? Who's been hot in, like, say a batting fifth? Let's leave that player in batting fifth. Why is that batter batting, eighth the next game or third the next game?
Team that does that. We can't have the same lineup 2 days in a row. It makes no sense. Now, FG makes a comment. We know that DJ was safe at the plate, but more BS from the New York umpires. Well, listen, I unfortunately I have to disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. I saw the play now 11 times in slow motion, guys. And believe me when I tell you, it hurts me to say it, but Sanchez touched him before, because what happened is when he was going to the base, when his leg was going to home plate, it jumped. You think it hit home plate. It did not. If you go back to that play, if anybody could go to slow motion, you check it. Sanchez hits his leg before it goes back down. But it could have gone either way.
Right.
But I can tell you is I'm not going to blame New York for that, and I'm not going to blame the umpires. That was a gutsy call, and it was the right call. I have normally, I am not going to stick up with the umpires. But let me tell you, when you see the play 11 times, and that's what I did, because I wanted to be accurate. I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked. Believe me, guys, when I tell you he was out. He was out. I tell you the truth. He was out. But thank you for, definitely for the comment. No question about it. Okay, so now playing. Okay, and that's another thing. With Belly, why is this man not playing?
Yeah.
This guy should be in the lineup every day.
He had 3 hits. He had 3 hits the other game. He's the reason why we won the game. So I don't get why. Once again, we take the hot hand, we put him on the bench, and that the lineup. I know, Joe, you and I could talk about this all day, but I just do not understand this, and I never will. But
no, I won't. And nobody asked Boone in his presser. That's the funny thing. Sean Browning says Stanton is starting to lock in, and we had great approaches yesterday. However, we didn't capitalize on the opportunities. Well, again, who does it come down to? You can't hide him in the lineup, Anthony Volpe. I have a feeling today is the day that he's out of the lineup.
I agree.
I think Oswald Peraza will be in there. I don't think that the lineup will be on. I mean, unless we go to 11 o'clock, and I don't see us going for 3 hours here. But I do want to bring on our new morning guy from 8:30 to 9. How you doing? Starting on Monday. How you doing? Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I'm doing fine. I guess in the morning I'll have to wake up a little bit earlier now.
Yeah. If you want to be part, you've done some, Jonathan. I got to tell you, and I'm going to say it in front of the world. You've done a tremendous job. You're a great guy. You know your stuff, and don't get a show on your own. Stay with us.
I'm not interested in the show on my own, even though I've been suggested to start one.
I'm looking forward with you is the trade deadline day. I think we're gonna have. I'm excited. I am really. You guys can go in and out, whatever you like that day. You have freedom of speech.
Yeah. I'll just tell you one thing. Last year on the trade deadline day, I think I stayed from 12 o'clock to the end of the day with Jason on 161.
Right.
I stayed so long that my computer went. I didn't plug my computer, and it went dead during the stream.
Oh, Jesus.
So I have a plug right here. I can always remember if I remember to plug it in.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, you know, and I know a lot of times you're always telling me that, you know, when we bring you on, you know, by like 10 after 9, and obviously the work or whatever, private stuff, but you do deserve your own little time, and I'm happy to give it to you. You deserve it. You work hard. You're always there, and in front of everybody, I can say you've earned it, and I appreciate you. So does Ken from The Ugly Truth, and so does CT and everyone else.
Just don't play baseball trivia with Jonathan. He's going to kick your butt.
Maybe not Yankee wise, but maybe otherwise, yes. But again, Jonathan, thank you. I mean, this guy, even on vacation, he was sending out to like Jason, to myself, whatever, and you know it, and on top of that, there were pictures, there was a video. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah,
So
he sent us pictures from the game, the Angels game.
I can't deny that. I will not deny that. And even though you might have thought I was a nut in the beginning, I really hope sincerely that we're brothers.
Thank you. I'll always be around when I can. You know, I don't know what my plans are for the summer. I'll probably take a little bit of time off somewhere, but I'll still be around.
Good.
I've already taken a bunch of time this year.
Let's go to the chat, guys. Felix says, guys, is Spencer Jones a certified bust at this point?
No,
what do you think?
No.
Okay,
I think he's coming around. He's starting to find it in AA. I think he should be promoted to AAA, and I would not be surprised if he's called up in September. Spencer Jones. I think Spencer Jones will get his chance in the major leagues this year.
Okay.
Really? Well, you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
This is coming from Jonathan. I mean, and if he says it, it's almost like God. So, I mean, really.
And that's assuming he stays on the same pace.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, Jonathan, have you seen him play? Do you go on the MLB.TV or do you watch replays?
I don't have MLB.TV. I have just regular cable. So I've only seen him play when he's on Yes or MLB Network.
Okay, cool, good. You know, because I do watch him, and you know, and then of course, you know, there's some very good AA players that I think should be awarded to go into AAA, and you know, it's really time. It's really time for the Yankees to take that approach. Let the young guys come up. You want to say you don't want a $300 million payroll? Give it a try. What do you have to lose? Really, you have veterans. Let's try something else. This obviously is, you know, it's fading. It's going both ways. Jake goes, we have to remember, too, that Judge struck out a ton in the minors also. Yes, he did.
Yes. There seems to be a point, a pattern.
Yeah.
That people that hitters especially, and pitchers that are tall, have struggled to begin with. Even Randy Johnson struggled first year, and he's a Hall of Famer. So don't underestimate guys who are above 6'6".
And by the way, good morning to Dev Finch. And also, when I was going on about the chat, we can't forget about Dev Finch. He's been an incredible fan and a big part of this show. So kudos to you, Dev. I would never forget you. But no, I agree. See, the thing that scares me with Spencer Jones there, now you're going to have Jones, you're going to have Stanton, and you're going to have Judge. What do you do when they're all in slumps and the Yankees go in slumps together? Could you imagine all those strikeouts? And not even to mention our third baseman. I mean, that's the problem.
That's something that Jones is going to have to work on.
Well, he's changed his batting stance. He's definitely changed his batting stance, so that's good.
I mean,
But,
Stanton has, I think, 3 more years or 2 after this one?
I don't know. It always seems like it goes up every
Yeah.
year. Every year I'm saying it. Oh, no, he's got 4 more years.
Well,
When does this contract retire?
I've looked at his contract so many times, I think I have it memorized. 26, 27, and 28 is a team option.
My
So
God.
he has 2 more years with an option, and all of those years, starting next year, Yankees are getting $10 million from the Marlins.
Marlins. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, but again, you know, they definitely got to get players. They got to get players that don't strike out. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of getting all of these players. They strike out. They strike out. They strike out. We need situational hitters. That's what we need right now. You know, I mean, enough's enough with this. Enough is enough. We have a couple of questions here in here on the email. One is from Jeff. Jeff goes, how do you guys like these early games? I don't live far away from Yankee Stadium. Why on a Sunday are they playing at 11, like about 11:30 in the morning? Does that make sense to you guys? No,
I don't think it does.
It really doesn't. That's Major League Baseball. Doing that. That's not the Yankees. It's Major League Baseball. So that's the problem with that. So we have
Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting to.
Sorry. I have to go walk the dog,
Okay.
and then I have to.
No problem.
Today.
We'll see you later. Okay, we're going to do a post game show a little bit later on.
Thank you.
All right, and also, Jonathan, I saw important. Look at your text. I sent out a text right before the show.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay, we'll talk to you later then. Thank you.
For some reason, in the last half hour, everybody wants to text me for something.
Yeah.
Have a good day, Jonathan. All right.
I was going to say, Joe, as of June 21st, the Yankees offense has accumulated 661 strikeouts so far. That places them tied for 8th among MLB teams for the most strikeouts. So in the top 10 strikeouts.
Ouch. That's way too much, guys. That's way, way, way too much. I do want to say, everyone, you're going in and out of the stream. Please don't forget to do the like button and, of course, subscribe. The more you do, the more content we'll have. You see that we're getting a lot of guests. We're getting a lot of things going on, and there'll be a lot more surprises. I think you're going to really like all of the different segments we're going to be bringing to you, and with really good people along with you in the chat. So you're going to be part of it. And if you're going to be part of it, tell your friends and family. All they got to do is subscribe, please. I can't stress that enough for all of us, for Ken, for Jason, for NFE, everybody, Jason C, all of us. We all have our own niche, and there's going to be a lot more surprises for you guys. I keep telling you that, and little by little, look how much we've come from just 2.5 months ago. So it's a lot of fun. Jake, let's see what he has to say here. Here's a question. Do you guys think it's really just the team slumping at once, or do you think everyone has just come back who they really are and is going to be like this for the year? That's a good question. What do you think? I'm
going to say I think this is a little tricky to answer. I have to say some of the guys we have going through slumps. It is a slump, and some of them are really showing who they really are. But when you look at, still look at what is Goldsmith still batting. Well, he's down to 298, but I think he had a great second half of last season. I knew Trent Grisham was too good to be true at the beginning of the season. We know Judge will keep it going. We'll get back to going. I mean, last night I said he had 3 hits, so he looked pretty good. Jazz is hit or miss. If he stops swinging for the fences all the time, he tends to have much better luck. We know we do expect from Stanton. Dominguez, rookie, so we're still seeing it. But I mean, Volpe, getting back to Volpe, I'm sorry to get back to it, but we kind of seen who he is, so and Wells this year, I don't know what's going on. So that's a really open-ended question or whatever you want to call it. That's kind of hard to answer.
What I don't understand, how did they have 40 RBIs? Where did they ever get them? I mean, it's so under the radar. Good morning, John the Beagle Dad. What's going on, big guy? How's it going? Thanks for joining. I mean, I don't understand. I never see anything. I mean, once in a while he'll get a hit, but 40 RBI. I mean, he's on the verge, Anthony Volpe, of 80 RBIs, and I feel like he's not helping the team.
Yeah.
How can that be?
I really think we need to sit him for a game or two.
John the Beagle says he's getting ready for his trip. If you don't mind saying, where you going, John? And are you taking us with you, I hope? Are we going to be part of your morning? Man, oh, man. He's going to forget us. He's going to go to the Caribbeans or wherever. He's going to forget us, CT. Oh, man, I'm going to be crying over here. John the Beagle. Oh, he's going to take us. All right. That's what I want to hear. Yeah, baby. Go get him. That a boy. I'm going to hold you to that. Oh, you're going to Albany. That's cool.
In the flesh.
Cool. Nice. Seeing James T. Kirk Shatner. Oh, nice. Really? Good for you. I hope you have a great time. FG, the RBIs are bloated for some players because of those blowout games. That's true. That's true. Good point. Good point.
I agree with that.
It says before he passes on. Okay. Let's hope he goes to I was thinking about it. I never realized that he was in his 90s.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. He looks so good. Hey, listen, Dick Van Dyke just turned 100. More power to him. I hope want him to keep going, man. I want him to keep going.
Well, Joe, I got to let you go in about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I got some things coming up, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss this morning, and I wanted to make sure I was able to help you out in this first half hour. And do you notice how much smoother I am with getting numbers out, having this other screen here? That's what I was telling you yesterday. I'm like, I can't wait.
I appreciate it. Now, we will not. There's no post game, no pregame show, guys. But immediately following the game, well, like I did last night in the 9th inning, I'll come on, and it'll be a pleasure because it'll be early, and then everybody can have a nice, quiet Saturday night, and so we're going to be on right after the game. I will post the lineup the minute it comes out, so look for that on NY Yankee Mania. And while you're doing that, press the like button, please, and subscribe. CT, I don't care what you do. Get us some subscribers out there, will you, please?
I'm working on it.
Well, no, listen, I don't want to hold you. We will see you. We will see you tomorrow morning. Later on.
Yeah, I'll definitely be around later.
Tomorrow morning, we'll be in touch. Thank you for all your help. And
thank you, everybody in the chat.
Yes, and also, let's go Yankees.
Take care.
All right, guys. And then there was one. Daniel T. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? These Yankees are going to give me a heart attack. No, Daniel, come on. Listen, I went through it growing up. You know how I got out of that, Daniel? It's very simple. I thought these guys were the cream of the crop. I thought that their number 2 doesn't stink and everything. And you know what I had experience? I went to cover a couple of Yankee games. And trust me when I tell you, nobody was a bigger fan than me. And when I went into that locker room and I knew they were regular people, they made a lot more money than me. But the one thing is that they're regular people. And when the game is over, Daniel, do they care? Well, maybe a little bit, but not everybody. So don't sweat it. Root for your Yankees, root for whoever you want, but just remember you're important. You're the number one. Your family. So don't take it to heart, because once that TV's closed, they don't know that we exist. We know that they exist. And I had to learn the hard way because, I was getting sick. And with the Yankees losing, or they lost the World Series, or believe me when I tell you, you can't be more passionate than me. So what I'm trying to tell you is enjoy the game. It's a soothing game, and it's there for us always. So that's all I can tell you. Your family comes first, and root the Yankees on, but just keep going. John the Beagle, wow, the Mets have lost 7 straight. Yes, they have. That's baseball, man. A blink of an eye, and it totally changes. Oh, my God. I mean, just like with the Yankees, they had that first loss in Fenway Park, and it all went downhill. And you can't stress enough. It's incredible. It really is. The thing is, Clay Holmes is not pitching well now, and everybody figured, he was gonna bust out because of all the innings. That's why it might have been smart to take him out in the 6th inning, the 5th inning of games to save him, because he was been a reliever just about all the last 4 or 5 years. And that's what's happening with the Mets. And so they're going through what the Yankees are going through. And, listen, I think the Mets are too good. Their pitching, I thought, overachieved in the beginning. No question about that. But, if they get Mania back, they're gonna swing something in that trade deadline. I don't know what, but they are gonna do something. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Ed Zock said, in the summer cold spell, Joe, it's right. And you know what? Let's get it over with now. Let's get it all out of our system. Then we start winning. Maybe we add a player or two in a trade from the minors. I seriously doubt this is going to be the final product come September 1st. I seriously doubt that. But again, let's see. It's tough to watch. The Yankees and the Mets are showing similar trends. Not getting the big hit, lack of small ball, fundamentally challenged. Just a horrible week for New York baseball. Yeah, no, you're right. Hit it right on the nail, Jake. And you couldn't have said it better. That is a huge problem. But if you dissect the Yankees and the Mets, I mean, obviously the Yankees have better pitching. The Mets have a little bit more consistent hitting. And I think the Yankee bullpen might, health-wise, I think is a little better than the Mets, because you never know what you're going to get from Diaz. He could be great or he could be awful. There's no in between with Diaz, no in between. At least with some of our guys, there are some in between. You get a hiccup from Weaver, you get a hiccup from Williams. Loizaga is starting to be Loizaga again. Just pray to God that he stays healthy. So there's a lot of similarities. Yes, there really are. But in Respos, they're both I was going to say they're both in first place, but the Phillies have taken over. But the Mets are definitely in the wild card. I mean, they're number one in the wild card. So, the interesting thing about this all is that both teams went into the tailspin together. They were both playing well together, and now they're. We had a question last night from John, and he said, "I hope the Yankees and the Mets play each other fast. At least one of the teams is going to win the game." And that, I know that sounds funny, but it's true. Right now, both teams can't find their way out of a paper bag. What is going on? So the Yankees just, they have to be more consistent with their lineup. We need consistency. You can't play Bellinger one day and then you rest him. And then you rest and you take out Grissom and you take out Paul G. It just doesn't, it's not working. So why can't they be consistent and play the same guys for, I don't say a whole week, the series, just the series. Who knows? There might be some good coming out of that. But you keep changing and you keep changing and you keep changing. What do you get? What effect do you get? Are you're trying to throw the other team off? They couldn't care less. They see you're not hitting, they're happy. Jake is saying Boone quietly is going against what his players want. They all said that they wanted consistency, and he's doing the opposite. I don't know if it's all Boone, Jake. It could be upper class. It could be analytics. They put it on the table, and he's got no choice. I mean, really. Hey, listen. The other day when we had some guests on, former players, they said themselves, "You're kidding yourself if you think the manager is really managing these days." 99%, they're not. They're not. They're there as a figure. They really are. Because if they make a mistake, if they go against the grain, let's say let's for argument's sake, Cashman is making the lineup. Let's just say Cashman makes the lineup, but Boone says, "No, you know what? I'm not going to play Grissom today. I'm going to play Cody Bellinger. I'm going to play Bellinger." Well, supposing Bellinger does nothing, and then maybe Grissom came up as a pinch hitter and got a home run. You don't think behind the scenes he's going to catch hell? The Yankee manager is probably one of the hardest jobs. It's the most prestigious, but it's got to be one of the hardest jobs. I honestly would not go anywhere near that. I mean, I think you get gray within the first year. But that's the problem with analytics. They throw all these papers at you. Boone has to study it for 3 hours, and then he's got to make his decision. So even if he wanted to put somebody in for 3 days in a row, if it says no and it goes bad, he's going to catch hell. And then in front, they're all saying they won't fire Boone because he'll be picked up like that. Yeah, he can be a very good manager, but he doesn't get a chance. It's the analytics. I mean, how much more, you could boo Boone, you could say whatever you want. But he's going with paperwork where Billy Martin didn't have that. Lou Piniella didn't have that. Yogi Berra didn't have that. They went with their minds. Joe Torre didn't have that. He had Don Zimmer, and Don Zimmer always gave him good advice. Jake said, "Stuff to watch." Oh no. Well, according to Clint Frazier, I feel like they hired too many rocket scientists and try to make the lineup. Yeah, well, I believe him, but you also got to realize that's sour grapes. Listen, he couldn't make the Yankees. He couldn't make the Indians. He couldn't make the Cubs. So, I mean, he had the legendary bat speed according to Cashman, and Boone loved him too. They loved his swing and everything. So, Clint Frazier could say what he wants. He's out of the game now, and he has got nothing to lose. He's never coming back unless he goes to Japan or something. I'm sure he's still old enough. But I wouldn't put too much stock in what Clint Frazier says. Okay? If it were, just like I don't put stock in anything Jose Canseco says. Because, I mean, he's a little ridiculous. A quote out of Canseco, if you ever heard him, he said he would go up against Aaron Judge, and he would hit a ball a lot further than Judge can, even as a softball. So you're talking about a guy who's 60 years old. Not that that's old, but I'm just saying. So I don't put too much stock in a guy like Jose Canseco, Clint Frazier, and any of those guys. I really don't. Old school baseball minds already have a plan. Look, I wish Paul O'Neill ran the Yankee manager. Yeah, Paul O'Neill would be great. The problem with Paul O'Neill is make sure those water coolers are not around, but he wouldn't take that. There's no way. It would be great. I also think Tino Martinez would make a great manager. I really do. Or a batting coach. The Yankees they were driving with Chris Chambliss at one time, people like that. And that's when the Yankees were really, really good. Chris Chambliss, I don't know if anybody in the stream is old enough to have seen him play, but he was clutch, man. He was clutch. You needed that hit, he gave you that hit. How many times in the years that he was with the Yankees did he get a clutch hit? I can't even tell you. In 1 year, I'm sure he had over 35. And he would come on, and he very rarely got hurt. But when he got hurt and he came back, I guarantee you that game he either homered in a big situation or he got the runs in. He was a very good first baseman. Very, very good first baseman. Hey, the birthday boy just joined us. Jason from 161. How you doing, big guy? How does it feel to be 21 again? And he's saying Tino and O'Neill. Yeah, I would go. I think Tino would make a wonderful manager. I really do. O'Neill, he's gonna get thrown out of a lot of games. I'll tell you that. Posada, not sure about that. Jason says they likely wouldn't get any more chance than Boone gets. Yeah, you're right. You're right, because as long as the analytics is here, it's not going to change. And Jason says 21 feels amazing. Well, you look 21, man. Enjoy it. And I hope your day was wonderful yesterday. I don't know if you got to hear it, but we sang you happy birthday here on the air. And you're a big part of our show. So thank you so much. And I'm so happy that you had that it was a day off and you had your family with you. That's awesome. I was really, really happy about that. Hey, look who came out of the email. Bob Rizzo. Why do you think the Mets are doing so badly? Very, very simple, Bob. No pitching. The pitching has gone south. They're hurt. They're waiting for their number one starter, Sean Manaea, to come back. And they're in a mess right now. They've got problems. And, they signed Juan Soto. But you see, after Juan Soto, what did they do? They didn't get much because they spent $800 million on the guy. And that's where we got a blessing with the Yankees. The Yankees were able to get a lot of good pieces for the future and save $800 million. So, I mean, a good question, Bob. Very good question. The problem with the Mets, again, the pitching their number one relief pitcher is erratic. You don't know what you're going to get. Sean has a very good guy. Scott Brocious would probably make a very good manager. You're right about that. Heads on. But getting back to Bob, I believe the problem with the Mets is that they didn't concentrate. They focused in on Juan Soto. Whatever they had to do, we knew they were going to get him, and then they stopped. They got little pieces here and there. So now they got to go back to the drawing board, and they're going to have to. They're going to lose some prospects. If they want to save this year, they're going to lose prospects, and go out, and they got to spend more money. That's why I think the Yankees were kind of smart. They didn't do that, and with the money that the $700 million, what do they end up spending? Like what, $300 million, if that much? So you got all that money in reserve. I mean, I know it's yearly. It would have been like $50 million a year. I understand that. We're not shelling it. I mean, I'd be very surprised if the Yankees ever paid a play. Not that they're cheap, but $50 million is a little bit ridiculous. I'm sorry. Listen, that's for another day. Hey, Jake, do you think Fried's start last night was a quality start? I'm hearing some mixed opinions. Personally, I think it was okay, but could have been better. Yes, it could have been better. He was missing on his breaking pitches. He was up and high. He was inside. He hit a couple of batters. That's the problem with him. So he was a little, but I think he's going to bounce back. It still was. Listen, the Yankees should have won yesterday. We all know that. Look how many men on base, and it's the same old story. They can't bring a runner home from third base. Why? Because they don't play little ball. They don't play little ball. And everybody's with this home run and home run and home run. Well, you know what? The home run doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it in the playoffs. And until, like I keep saying, till you're blue in the face, until they do something about that, it's not going to work. I don't care if they win 20 in a row. When it comes to the playoffs, they are messed up because you're going to see a lot better pitching. It only stands to reason. Heck, they're not hitting bad pitching right now. They're not hitting, period. They just broke out of a slump, and they still lost the game. Sean Browning is saying Ron Washington, if he's available. I don't know. I don't know too much about the health scare, but I think he really enjoys managing that club. I don't think he's going anywhere. And if he does, he might just retire. But that is a good choice. It just feels like a game we should have won. Volpe left too many on. Of course he did. Of course. And we can't hide him. But the amazing thing about Volpe and is that he's got 44 RBIs. Now, I know you guys are going to say something like, yeah, that's when we were winning 19-0. Doesn't matter. He has 44 RBIs. So how can you not justify that? I mean, fine. Right now, he's not hitting. We all know that. And Boone came out and said he's going to get a rest this weekend. I got a feeling today he's out of the lineup. I wish the lineup would come out because it's an early game, but I don't think it's going to come out at least for about another hour. I'd be very surprised. I'm actually checking now, but I seriously doubt it. Let's see. I'm looking. Let's see. By the way, Pirates relief pitcher Danny Santana is appealing his 4-game suspension. He went after a fan in the bullpen who was being very rowdy. And, the players have to just forget about that, and they got to move on. There's no reason for them to listen to that crap. And you got to be adult about it. You got to walk away. I don't care how much they're whatever they're saying about you or whatever, just ignore it. I know it's hard to visualize, but you've got to be an adult about it. You can't just go there and go in. You're really going to a point where you might get suspended for good. You can't go after the fans. The fans have a right to boo. They don't have a right to throw anything at you, but that's security who should be grabbing them and throwing them in jail. And that's it. Jake, the first time I ever saw Boone, I admit a player was struggling, was yesterday. Kind of sad. Well, yeah, he finally. Well, the thing is, I mean, how much can he defend? Sooner or later, Boone has to. He's got to. I mean, they probably told him, look, once in a while, you got to go out. You got to go out of your territory. You've got to show that you're a little concerned. I mean, come on. Even no matter how much he can defend his players, Yankees aren't getting it done, guys. They're not getting it done. So what do? Today's game kind of scares me because of that. Did you happen to see the lineup the Orioles put in? Did you see that bench? That bench was an all-star bench. An all-star bench. You want to compare that to the Yankees? Now, those guys on the bench, and they still had a representative team on the field. The Yankees don't put all those stars on there. They don't have a representative team. They have nothing but strikeouts. Big difference. The only reason why the Orioles are where they are is they have absolutely no pitching. If you put the Yankee staff on the Orioles, I think it's going to be a lot different. That's a good hitting team. And they lost Santander. He's gone. But those rookie guys, they're all little by little, they're all flourishing. And then you got a lot of Yankee killers like O'Hearn. He kills them. Henderson, he kills them. They can't figure these guys out. You bring in a lefty, they hit the ball to left field. You bring in a righty, they hit the ball over the fence. You bring in this, they do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. I mean, when does it end? When do you see finally you can get some of these guys out? But it's the same guys that hurt the Yankees all the time. So, you talk about analytics. Why can't analytics say, okay, when O'Hearn is up, don't do this? What is it telling them? Throw the ball down the middle? I don't get it because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The same thing with the Toronto Blue Jay catcher, Kirk. Why is it every team, when every team gets him out, and what is he, a 230 hitter? When he plays the Yankees, he's a 500 hitter. Why? What is it that the other teams know that the Yankees can't accomplish? And I've always said, whenever the Yankees play the certain teams like the Blue Jays, and they're doing that DraftKings stuff, go put at least a hit. You'll win. You'll win some money, because there's no question in my mind. Kirk is going to get a single or a double. He's going to do something in the clutch. But against the Mets, he couldn't hit a banana off a conga drum. He did nothing. 2 weeks later, he comes to Yankee Stadium. His eyes blow up. So what does analytics do? There's got to be paperwork on Kirk. It's obvious it's not right with the Yankees. Now, Rafael Devers, same thing. All right, he's a great hitter. We know that. But you mean to tell me you can't get this guy out? And he started the year, what, 0 for 25? If the Yankees would have played them, do you think he would have went 0 for 25? Absolutely not. He must have been craving to see Yankee pitching. Craving. But it's the same guys on every team. Salvatore Perez. Can't, all right, they had a little bit after so many years. He kills them. And if you notice, it's a lot of catches. A lot of catches. Kill the Yankees. Backup catches. Kill the Yankees. And how do you not figure this stuff out? And that's why I say, when you're playing it, let the manager manage 100%. It might work. It's something that, you can beat your head against the wall. Something about the Yankees that everyone just ups their game. Yeah, of course, because it's the New York Yankees. 27 world championships, all those pennants. It's the Yankees, of course. When you play the Yankees or the Mets, do you get up more for the Yankees or get up more for the Mets? Some of these teams, like Colorado Rockies, when they beat the Yankees, that was the World Series for them. Honestly, when the old Oakland A's, when they beat the Yankees the last couple of years, that was like a World Series for them. And then they go to the next city and they crap their pants. It's unreal. And you want to know another thing that's interesting? I'm sure somebody's caught this on. Every time the Yankees go and play the Mets, the series before is always the Red Sox or the series after that. They can't get a break. And it always comes down to that the Yankees always come in banged up. This year wasn't too bad. Now let's see what happens at Citi Field. They never have a full team against the Mets. Never. Only the World Series where it really counted, of course. But if you look at some of those, when the Mets swept the Yankees in 24 or whatever, in 24, look at that lineup. Only Juan Soto was in there. It was a joke. An absolute joke. The Yankees had almost their regular squad. We won 2 out of 3. Of course. They're as good as the Mets. Probably a little bit better because of the pitching. But you can't say, go head to head when you got like 7 guys on the IL. Edgelock said, is Rice still with the club? Of course he is. He's probably going to be in today's lineup. He didn't go anywhere. Not as far as I know, unless a trade happened or something like that. I don't believe so. I'm still looking, in case, but again, like I said, guys, it's just too early. It's too early, but we will definitely post the lineup on NY Yankee Mania, and as soon as we get it, if we get any updated roster moves, you will get it. Any trades, you will get it. And a quick note: remember, everyone, go to the Ugly Truths channel for the play-by-play, and then right after that, please come back here, and we will have a nice post-game show. It'll be on obviously a lot earlier today because it's the early game. As I usually do, I usually come on in like the last half inning or so, and get business done and then get ready for the post game show. So look for that, and we'll be on. Of course, press the like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel. A lot of good things are headed our way. And I appreciate everybody sticking with me this morning. Just I can't thank you guys enough. So let's hope we have a very, very good, fun post-game show later. And I can't visualize the time, but I will put a short out to let you know that we're coming on, or I'll set it up, and you guys automatically will see it, and you come on, and we'll discuss the game. Hopefully, it'll be a good game. I think to me, it's going to be a little bit of a slugfest. I could see the Yanks today winning maybe 7-5, 7-4. I think Clark Smith will do okay, but those lefty hitters scare me today, guys. They scare me. But let's see let's see. You still got to play it on the field. So with that in mind, everyone, we're gonna let you go. Let enjoy your breakfast. Enjoy your the lunch to be before the Yankee game. I hope everybody has a great Saturday, and if you could spend a little bit more time with us after the game, I would really appreciate it. The like button and all of that. Also, tomorrow, don't forget, you wrestling fans, Total Turnbuckle Talk, my other channel, with my co-host, amazing co-host TJ. We are going to dissect a great SmackDown last night, Monday night's Raw. All your questions, get them in there. And the same thing, subscribe, press the like button, and we will be on live tomorrow, I believe around 10:45, but we'll put out a short. Go on there. There's a lot of video intakes. We'll also spend a minute or two getting all the information that Hulk Hogan thing was somebody put out some garbage that he was on his deathbed. He is in the hospital, but he's not on his deathbed. He had to take care of a few things. Don't forget, the man's had like 24 surgeries in his back. But he is okay, and he's not in any danger. So for you Hulk Hogan fans, you got nothing to worry about. So then, we'll see you. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be absolutely crazy. You got the live wrestling show. Then the Yankees play immediately like after that. That's amazing. I mean, boom. It's going to be a crazy early morning, mid-afternoon day. So enjoy it. Enjoy today, everyone. Please come back for the post game. Thank you so much. And have a great day. Love each and every one of you. God bless you all. And of course, God bless America. Have a great day, everyone. Happy Saturday. Let's go Yankees. See you later, guys.